Payday. You want payday? I didn't know that. Canelo versus Charlo. It could very well be the card of the year. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, Canelo versus Charlo, September 30th, in and of itself is already a great big fight that the boxing fans are excited for. However, this might be the motherfucking card of the year. Shout out to Showtime and PBC. Breaking news. Boxing reporter Keith Idec says, been told that YORDENIS UGAS versus Mario Barrios fight for the WBC interim welterweight title will be a part of Canelo versus Charlo undercard 9:30. The PBC Showtime pay-per-view undercard scheduled for that fight night is impressive, with UGAS versus Barrios, Jesus Ramos versus Erickson Lubin, Elijah Garcia versus Armando Resendez. Wow, it's a great fight. Now, Mario Barrios previously fought Gervonta Davis, tough as nails. You know, he gave some issue to Gervonta Davis with his height and his durability. He kept picking himself off the ground. He has a new trainer. He's training with Santos. He was with Virgil Hunter for a while. So after that fight, he moved up to the welterweight division. That's where he fought against Mr. Keith one time. You better not duck me, Thun. You better not. I'm coming. And some people thought he would get knocked out in that fight. But if anything, he gave Keith Thurman a lot of problems. And it was a close fight. It was closer than people expected. So Mario Barrios, clearly, he said he's the Aztec warrior. He's not ducking no smoke, because with Gervonta's and the Keith Thurmans, and he had a tough fight on the Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter undercard where his eye got messed up against a guy that Kenneth Sims recently fought. I mean, he's taking tough fights. It is what it is. Now to fight Cuban boxer YORDENIS UGAS. Now, I know Errol Spence lost to Terrence Crawford recently. However, doesn't change the fact that YORDENIS UGAS got pretty pulverized by Errol Spence Jr., right? And his eye was bashed up and he's out of commission. Nonetheless, this is a guy that was capable of beating Pacquiao, and Mario Barrios is new to the division and he hasn't accomplished what Errol Spence has accomplished. So at the end of the day, this is really just a great fight. Both guys, UGAS and Barrios, would have something to prove and would want to get a win in, you know, losing to Keith Thurman and then losing to Errol Spence. And then UGAS has been out for a minute because of his eye and the damage sustained versus Errol Spence Jr. So all in all, it's a great fight. Canelo versus Charlo is a great fight, where some people think Canelo lost a step. Some people believe that Charlo, it's his time. Some people think Charlo is biting off more than he can chew with the weight class jumping, moving up to 168 pounds, the super middleweight division. So this is looking like a very, very stacked card with a lot of star power and a lot of guys and names of guys that you follow their whole career. Bravo to Showtime. It looks like them getting Canelo back. Yes, they worked with Canelo in the past, but I remember the Caleb Plant fight was a good fight and it was for undisputed, but the undercard wasn't stacked like this. This is like an awesome card, right? And you don't always get that on the pay-per-views, because the main event, fighter A and fighter B, sometimes they demand so much money up front, like just with their purses, that they hog the budget, and it becomes harder and harder to stack the card for that reason, because you got the principal fighters taking up so much of the budget with their purses because they're, you know, A-listers and they've worked to a certain level, yada, yada, yada. So I'm really liking this and liking what I'm hearing. And that's not all the fights. They're also going to have other like smaller fights, but just the televised portion or the pay-per-view undercard portion is looking fire. I like Barrios a lot. I like UGAS a lot. Looking forward at the welterweight division. The other thing you got to look at is who's next. YORDENIS UGAS, Mario Barrios, if they're fighting for the WBC interim, right now Terrence Crawford is undisputed. Now, he could move up to 54 or maybe even higher to fight the winner of Canelo Charlo at 68. That's what at least he said to Joe Rogan on his podcast. So there's a lot of moving parts. So is Jaron Boots Ennis gonna get a big name? Will he get maybe a Keith Thurman fight? And if that's the case, will the winner of Jaron Boots Ennis, Keith Thurman, maybe fight the winner of Yordenis Ugas versus Barrios? It's a lot of moving parts, and it got me excited for the welterweight division, because that's what happens when you make great fights in the glamour division. You can kind of mix and match them, and at the end of the day, it's going to produce great results for the fans that the fans are going to enjoy. So I like it. I think the division is shaping up. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are kind of slightly a different generation, maybe a little bit older than some of the newer blood, like Jaron Boots Ennis, things like that. So we're going to see if they end up moving up, because Errol Spence probably will move up to 54. And the same could be said about Terrence Crawford. If that's in fact the case, then we will see this new generation and, you know, some of the old veterans like Yordenis Ugas duke it out and battle it out to see who's the best of that bunch, you know, outside of Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, since we already got Spence Crawford. So I like this a lot. Y'all got to just support when boxing does it right. Buy the pay-per-view, go to Vegas, things like that, because I hate when boxing fans complain, oh, we're not getting the big fights. Oh, I'm so sick of this. And then they illegally stream everything to the point where, I mean, if you're not willing to buy nothing, you're not willing to commit to nothing. I mean, what are we talking about? At the end of the day, you got to support, because that's how they continue. If it's bankable for the people in suits and everybody gets what they want out of the equation, then the likelihood that they'll continue this trend, I think it improves for us as boxing fans. Food for thought. But I'm really liking this. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Ugas versus Barrios. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Subscribe. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.